Hi beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel, Beautiful Awakening with Shantia. Welcome to another pick a card reading with me. Alright, so today for our pick a card reading, we're going to be looking into what role the universe is promoting you into. I thought this would be a fun reading because based off of the readings that we've been, I just said that twice. Based off of the readings that we've been getting lately, it's clear that a lot of the collective is going through a transformation and there's a lot of shifts that are taking place in your lives. So I wanted to give you clarification on the role because obviously you're not being transformed for nothing. You're being transformed to step into a role. I'm going to give you clarification through this reading on what exactly that role is. Not exactly, this is abstract knowledge, but you'll get an idea and some concepts about what it is that you're being promoted into, because now's the time where we're shifting officially and transitioning into that new space and that new paradigm for us and ourselves. So looking forward to this reading. Let's go ahead and get started with introducing the groups and our meditation. So we have group number 1 here with the green Jadeite. We have group number 2 with the green Onyx. And we have group number 3 with the Chrysocolla. Let us go ahead and do our meditation. Here is the singing bowl. Okay, group number 1, if you chose this green Jadeite, we'll go ahead and start with you. Hey, group number 1, welcome to your reading. So if you chose this lovely green Jadeite, then this is going to be the reading for you. Let us go ahead and get started and pull energies and see what role the universe is calling you into and promoting you into. Okay. I heard mother. Some of you that might literally be mother, but it doesn't have to be so literal. So I'm getting cups energy, king of cups, queen of cups, but the universe is promoting you into the role of mother. I was seeing a feminine energy and she had her children underneath her and they made up this triangle. So it was the mother at the top of the triangle and the 2 kids at the bottom. And she was like hovering over them in care for them. So this is taking me to the energy of Mother Sophia, or Goddess Sophia, I guess you could call her, Sophia. So Sophia is the feminine representation of Christ, actually, the female Holy Trinity. And this is knowledge that most of us we don't know, we haven't been aware of because we've been taught the patriarchal side of religion, which is why, or I guess connection to God and Christianity, which is why, in a sense, religion is incomplete because it's missing more of that strong feminine representation. So the universe is promoting you into a role where you're going to be able to help people tune into that divine feminine energy. You're going to offer them the nourishment and the guidance that they need. Because so many people need healing, they need love. And feminine energy is powerful because it's a representation of creativity, fluidity, it's our spiritual connection. There's just so much to it. And I feel like, in a sense, feminine energy actually leads because it doesn't lead in the physical 3D realm, but it leads in the energetic form. So feminine leads and the masculine energy follows in the physical manifestation. So you're getting that role, which is so powerful. And there's so much more I can say to that, but I'm just going to go ahead and move on to channeling with the Jadeite, and we'll see whatever energies want to come through, and we'll pull cards to get some additional messages that connect the dots here for you. Okay. Yeah. You serve as a powerful channel for divine energy, masculine and feminine energy, to be brought into this world. I was sort of getting an energy of someone in a cave, and then I was getting sort of a ripple effect energy emanating from that. So I think it's going to be very important for you as you're stepping into this role to really take note of what it is that you're needing. You have to prioritize that because you're being used as a channel, and because you're being used as a channel, you're going to need to know the timing for when you're being called to give your attention to other people and make sure your cup is full and charged up. So there's a lot of hermiting, perhaps moments of obscurity and quietness, isolation, introspection that you're needing to tune into yourself. That's going to be very important. Okay. Let's see if I see anything. Okay, well, I heard the words river in my head, and I'm seeing sort of this line intersecting across the land. Yeah, so that's definitely taking me back to the feminine energy and bringing people to the water, bringing people to that nourishment that they're needing, that guidance. And you're helping them. I'm seeing like a sheep herder or something, or Moses when he was leading people across the Red Sea. But you're leading people to the river and along the river. So essentially, you're here to help guide people to follow their intuition. There's so many literal forms that this can translate into. You know, you could be a spiritual guide, a teacher, a mentor to people, a coach of some sort. This could be in writing form, but I do see you interacting with people and guiding them in some way, shape, or form. It's very much Moses. Moses energy is coming through the archetype is coming through very strongly. The leader who's leading people along the river. Because, so the people who are going to be coming to you and are going to be seeking your guidance are those who are thirsty. Thirsty for knowledge, thirsty for nourishment, thirsty for healing. Okay. This green jadeite is particularly about relinquishing our fears. This is a purification one as well. This is very much connected to shadow energy as well. So if you're needing to do some shadow work, or if you've been doing some shadow work, this is probably what has helped to qualify you for this promotion, is your ability to do your shadow work, to integrate your shadow, that darkness that people often want to run away from and they want to avoid. You look at your shadow. In fact, I feel like you love it. So if we connect to Moses' story, you know, he was raised in the entitlement. he was raised in sort of royalty. He was given luxuries and a lavish lifestyle, including a title, but he gave all of that up when he realized who he really was, and he experienced a rebirth. And according to the Bible, it wasn't until later in life, I think he was in his like 60s or 70s, when God gave him that promotion after he had taken that time to heal and attune to his natural self and given it all up. Once he was willing to give it all up, God was able to promote him into that position of being a powerful leader, an abundant leader for the people. And this involved a lot of courage and confidence on his part to do the work. None of us ever feel truly, fully confident to do God's work like, oh, I'm the one doing it. But it's about being the vessel for which God can work through us. And that's the confidence and the courage that we're asked to step into and embrace for ourselves. Like, are you willing to be the vessel? Are you willing to let go of your attachments to these worldly expectations or societal expectations to step into something powerful and profound, and to really be something authentic in this world that people need, right? Yeah, so there may be some additional shedding that you're also doing, but I'm kind of getting this energy of you. I'm seeing someone guiding people along the river. So I feel like you are most certainly ready. Because of the shadow work, it's like the ability to face the fears. I always see an alligator in this sometimes too. The alligator, and I'm seeing the cane. So Moses was given a staff, right? And the staff was supposed to be a representation of his majesty, of his empowerment. It was God's rank. It was a representation of God's rank to him, saying that you are a leader. You are the guidance. So a staff is symbolic for holding you up, right? So you are the staff which holds yourself up, but or I guess the universe, the divine, is your staff, but you also serve as the staff to hold other people up. So when they're wobbly, when they're weary, when they're overwhelmed in life, when they're emotional, you help to bring that clarity to them. You bring them to the river where they can gain that clarity, and they can find their stability again, find their strength again here. So yeah, the staff is strong here. Yeah, and I think, again, the staff is a representation of sort of a noble decree put on you. And this is a decree that it's offered to us, but we always have a choice as humans, whether we want to accept it or not. And I feel like you are ready to accept it. All right, let's go ahead and pull cards and see what wants to come through. We have Two of Pentacles. I think this is so interesting. So she's in the kitchen cooking, and she's looking at a recipe, putting something together. She's about to put a delicious meal together here. So this is calling you to your next step in your promotion. We got Two of Pentacles. Let's go ahead and pull a clarify for it. Yeah, to me, the paper she's looking at is the instructions, right? We have here Nine of Swords, so that's also taking me to the shadow work and the purification work of Jadeite, right? And fears. Two of Pentacles can also be about like instability, feeling unstable, not feeling so sure, right? This recipe isn't complete yet. It's still being put together. So we're not entirely sure about how it's going to turn out. So you're in a place right now, they're showing me your current energy, where there are some fears that are perhaps going to come up, and they want you to just know and be rest assured that it is an illusion. And that's kind of our job, as our task is to see past the illusion of fear, to face our shadow. And it's our ability to face this shadow that helps us to feel so much more at peace with ourselves. So there may be a fear of, we have the vulture here, so that's definitely taking us to death. You may be going through a situation where you feel on edge, particularly around your physical situation, because you don't know how everything's going to turn out. You're kind of in a place of unknown in your life. But this isn't something to be particularly worried about. It's in your head, right? So we have this woman. This is actually taking me to a movie I watched about a woman. She was kind of wearing a similar outfit. And I think she was in, maybe it was the 60s, but it was a thriller. I'm forgetting the actress. The one with the big expressive eyes. She was in Furiosa. I'm forgetting her name right now. But in that movie, she was going through some kind of like psychosis because she was being put through a difficult situation, and she started to disassociate herself from the situation she was going through, and it was creating sort of a mental health blockage in her because of the psychosis she was experiencing, because she was essentially going through like an abusive relationship, and it made her disassociate from herself, and it caused a lot of confusion in her identity. So I feel like there's this maybe a weird dissociative experience you're going through where there's like fear and then there's no fear. Fear, no fear. And your task is to find the balance, to find the right ingredient to tune into so that you're not feeling overwhelmed or feeling that burden anymore. That's a lot of the challenges and tests that we're put through is, can we find a way to take that burden and shed that burden away? And the way that you do it is you do it through your awareness. That's it. It's the only thing you can do. You can't do anything to fix it, especially when the universe is putting you in situations where, just like Moses, he lost everything. You know, he had everything and then he lost everything. So you might be put through a really difficult situation where life is humbling you, and this is for good reason. It's to promote you. So they're letting us know that. I wasn't expecting that on the first pulls, but we'll see what additional cards want to come through. So the role the universe is calling you into here. Because that's not telling me the role, that's telling me the situation. And it's also telling me what you're needing to do to access this role. And I'm not surprised, because this Jadeite often brings up a lot of shadow work. Okay, so we have here Lady Nada, Heart Awakening, awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive in balance. So that brings me to the Two of Pentacles. In the original Two of Pentacles, it's about balance and finding balance with ourselves, right? So you're going through a heart awakening. I was also getting that feminine energy, that divine feminine energy as well. We have here Lady Nada. I don't know anything about Lady Nada. I've actually never heard of her before. But from this card and the energy that it's emanating, she's got these roses surrounding her. And it's also taking me to the pinks. So the pinks in here are kind of representing like the fear, the death, kind of akin to blood a little bit, right? So that's the wounds. We got wounds, but here the pink is representing new life, a refreshed new life and a rebirth. Here, awaken to acceptance and divine love, give and receive in balance. So they want you to awaken to the acceptance of whatever is going on in your life. Acceptance is the thing that's going to help you to let go of the conflict and open yourself up to divine love. We were talking about divine. So when we know that the divine is what gives us and offers us that nourishment and love, we never feel forgotten. We never feel alone. Here, give and receive in balance. Yeah, and that's also, again, the universe wants you to know that as far as your situation goes, there's a give and there's a receive. So you will be taken care of and things will work out for you. Just give it the time that it needs to work itself out here. Things will balance out. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through about the role the universe is calling you into. Oh my gosh, you guys got 4 cards. We got a lot for you guys. Okay, we got Trickster here, transcending convention, stuffiness and predictable behavior, shadow attribute, manipulating others through duplicity. We have here the Fool, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Shadow attributes, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. We have here Athlete, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Shadow attribute is misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. And then we also have here Vampire, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. Okay. So we're getting a lot of guidance that's coming through, first and foremost, which I think is great. You're training for the Olympics. Group number 1. You guys are training for the Olympics, okay? This is big. This is important. So whatever is occurring in your current reality, they just want you to know there's this trickster energy around it, right? It looks fearful, it looks scary, but you're being asked to and encouraged to transcend this experience here. Beyond what you were taught in your life experience about money or situations or relationships or how things should work out, you know better. The thing is, here's how to note that you know better. The universe would not be able to put you through something like this without your participation. It needs you to be somewhat self-aware of what you're about to go through, what you're about to experience, or what you're about to take on in order for it to promote you into that experience. Otherwise, it can't really train you. So to some degree, you must be aware that whatever is unfolding in your life, it seems like the complete opposite of what you think would be a good thing. Right? So this is the trickster energy that shows up. With the Fool here, they're asking you to take that leap of faith. They're also asking you to not take reality so seriously. So in spite of what's going on, humor is going to be important. It's going to be important for you to sit back and ask yourself, is this something to worry about? Is there anything to ever worry about? Or is this just me focusing on this, right? So you're probably going through a lot of fluctuations with this Nine of Swords of different emotions inside of you, where you're not really knowing what emotion to lean into to feel calm or to content. But they're saying, flow through all of it, like the river. Flow through all of those emotions. Trust all of it. Trust all, allow all of it to flow. Feel all of it. Move through all of it. And with this athlete energy, well, we already talked about training for the Olympics. I'll come back to that. With this vampire energy, the thing is, we're our own worst emotional vampire. On this channel, I'm all about accountability because, quite honestly, you can't control people. And sometimes you're going to be put in situations or relationship dynamics where you feel maybe powerless, or you feel like, wow, this just feels so unfair. This person is just being mean to me. But if we try to control the situation or change people which we have no control over, it's going to make us feel so frustrated, right? So they're really asking you to consider and think about, where do you want to put your focus? Do you want to give away your joy, your light to those negative experiences, or do you want to challenge yourself to laugh at it, to not take it so seriously, to find a way to let it go? All right, so that's that vampire here. Yeah, so they're asking you to transcend this reality, transcend convention, transcend physical limits. So some of you may, with the Two of Pentacles, be going through physical limitations in your reality. It's on purpose. It's helping you to build your strength of spirit. At this point in time, we've been doing these readings for a while. You guys know this, so it's just like a rinse and repeat. Okay, let's see what else wants to come through. The role that universe is promoting you into. So if you're Palladian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution. There you go. There's going to be a resolution that shows up in your life. This is not something for you to figure out because it's spiritual before it's physical. And we are not privy to all of the information. We don't need to be privy to all of the information. The universe asks us to really trust. Things are coming together as they need to. They just need you to continue to trust. All right, let's go ahead and pull some additional cards for you guys. We have here marriage. That one wanted to jump out. Okay, that's interesting. With a marriage also, I think marriage is very symbolic for harmony, right? We have the Palladian activation, we have the balance, we have the give and receive, and acceptance, and we have the Two of Pentacles here. So this is the exchange that we experience with the universe as well as with people. There may be a particular relationship dynamic here that the universe is calling you towards, right? So this is something to just be aware of. Oh, yeah, the role you're being called into. Maybe the role you're being called into is a marriage. It's a sacred marriage. You know, whether this is a marriage with a person, the divine, with a business idea of the sort, or your career, it could support all of those storylines here. But you're being called into the role of marriage. So in a marriage, you think about it, it's usually two people who hold responsibilities in that partnership where you're being asked to harmonize with that other person who is different from you, has a different perspective in you, but you guys come together to share your ideas and to build something strong together here. Yeah, random pulls, I have to say. We're all over the place. I mean, it's not really all over the place. I feel like they're giving you guidance, but this is what they want to show you is important here. Okay. Oh, you guys got the thunderstorm. Thunderstorm, 5 Scorpio, power destruction, trouble, electric display, a warning, out of control, energy shift, conflict, triumph. Okay. Let me just pull some more clarifiers here. The role that universe is promoting you into, group number 1. So I was talking about power. That's the first word. We have here Page of Pentacles with the 10 of Swords. Huh. Okay. So group number 1, what they're really wanting to communicate to you is they really want you to know about the situation that you're currently in, and to know and to reassure you that it's coming to a close. It's coming to an end here with the 10 of Swords. However difficult it's been, it's here to give you that strength. Rise of the Phoenix here. So a lot of you have been struggling. It could be like a job situation. Perhaps you were in a job situation with this Page of Pentacles where you were hoping something was going to work out, either financially or with your career or with your living situation, and it just didn't pan out the way that you wanted it to here. But with the Page of Pentacles, this is telling me that there is a new situation that the universe is going to offer to you, and that will be showing up in your life. Because what I love about the 10 of Swords and the Page of Pentacles, this is ending and this is a beginning. Page of Pentacles are all about potentials here. Potentials of a different situation showing up in your life. Anything else you want to tell me about the marriage? We have here 4 of Cups, and we'll pull one more. We have here Knight of Cups. See, I was expecting that one. Okay. Yeah. So the new situation that's going to be showing up in your life, honestly, a lot of you guys are going through a whole life rehaul. So this is going to be showing up in people as well as in your living situation, work, career. This new situation that's showing up with this Knight of Cups, it's going to be something that's really aligned with your heart, really aligned with giving you peace here. So with this 4 of Cups, you know, it might have been a depressing situation for some time where you're just like, this is not ideal. Like, this is not something that I would wish on anyone else to experience, let alone myself. But the universe just wants you to know, to me, what this 4 of Cups is showing me is that it's not about even believing it. It's just, it hasn't shown up in your life yet, or you haven't quite seen it, and that's fine. They want to surprise you. So I want you to trust that. It's not, oh, there's something wrong with me. I know even optimism sometimes can be tricky, especially when you're in a situation that's particularly difficult. It's hard to be optimistic. What I'm seeing for you is that the universe has a beautiful surprise on the other side. You know, when it comes to either love showing up in your life or a loving situation showing up in your life. What's interesting is these people are mirroring each other, right? And that could also be a representation of someone mirroring you in your life. These people are having sort of that's kind of interesting. They're having sort of a very dreamy experience, and this guy looks like he's daydreaming, and he's got his journal here, and he's got a photo of a woman, blonde woman, who is actually looks similar. I don't think they're the same one. This one has curlier hair, but this one has, they're both the blonde women. So let's just imagine they're daydreaming, right, about their future. The possibilities. So the universe just wants you to keep your heart open to the possibilities, because they are taking care of you, and they're helping to reassure you to make sure that things are going to work out for the best. No lie. I spoke no lies here. Okay, let's go ahead and roll the astro dice. And I want to just pull one of these for you guys. Oh, okay. We have here I was not made for mediocrity. That definitely takes me to the athlete and the trickster energy. You're not made for mediocrity. Your life is not going to be that same story that everyone else is experiencing. It's going to be very unique, okay? So you're on to a very unique new chapter, new book in your life where it's going to be something that you love, right? It's this book right here that you've been dreaming about. You've been dreaming about it. Keep dreaming about it because it's going to happen for you guys. No question. We also have here physical health, body image. I'm totally conscious and aware of my beliefs about food and the reason I eat. So that's about being conscious, and I think, and aware, and having those beliefs about doing things that you feel like are aligned to you, whether it's the food you eat, how you engage with the world, the activities you participate in, really choosing things that feel true to you and authentic to you. But also, yes, eat well. Take care of yourself when it comes to your diet. So perhaps when it comes to your food situation, they just want you to be aware that sometimes food is important because it is fuel. And if we don't eat things that are particularly healthy for our vitality, it can actually drag our energy down. So just be aware of your energy, how that's operating for you. To end this reading, we have here K2, Leo, in the 5th house. Fun! That's like really fun energy. So K2 can be about releasing, letting go, spirituality. Leo energy has been showing up a lot. And I feel like Leo is a really good representation of your individual self-expression, wanting to come out, you being your true authentic self, you stepping out into the spotlight. It also takes me back to Moses and him being a leader, helping to lead the people as well. Any more clarifications about this K2 Leo in the 5th? Well, you know what's interesting about the K2 Leo in the 5th is that that's usually when someone, K2 is usually your past life, and it's where you already have experience with something. This could also be your spiritual gifts, right? So your spiritual gifts are going to be given a spotlight and a green light as well to shine. So your spiritual gifts may show up in some sort of creative form. Maybe you feel called to write music. However it is you express yourself naturally, that's where you're being called to in this promotion here. We got here 9 of Pentacles. There you go. That's a promotion for sure. Yeah, so you guys are getting a huge career promotion for sure. A lot of you, or a lifestyle promotion as well. Well, where you're going to feel very content and at peace with what it is that is manifesting into your life. Taken care of here. All right, that's going to be the end of your reading here, group number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support, and let me know if this resonates. Thank you. Bye. Hey, group number 2, if you chose this lovely green onyx, and this is going to be the reading for you. So let's just go ahead and pull energies first and see what role the universe is promoting you into and whatever advice they have for you. Well, I was seeing a cartoon of some... I'm not really sure how to interpret it. I felt like I was actually seeing music notes. So I had to meditate on it one more time to see what it was, but the role that the universe is calling into is asking for you to be courageous. It's asking for you to stand out. It's asking for you to welcome attention to you, however it wants to come to you. So when I say that, that means you're not going to be in control of the attention you get, but they're going to ask you to do some things, and this is based off of your personality. This is based off of things that come natural to you. So, you know, if your belief is about, you have a belief about helping to re-educate women on their bodies, and you have some ideas and some perspectives that you've gained through your own experiences that are very unique, And maybe to some people it seems a little weird or different, like where did you get that information? This is what I read in the book. This is how society works. This is how the research or the statistics show up. How you're teaching people to do this doesn't make sense. So they're calling you to be unique. They're calling you to be different, but it's an extension of you. So it's those conversations you have at the kitchen table with your family and your friends. Whatever natural essence you're oozing when you're talking about certain things that you love or what's important to you, what matters to you, that's what you're being called to do. Share that. Share that experience with people. Yeah. It's all about being unique, because I was seeing sort of a very unique cartoon character, and it was sort of performing, or he was doing his thing. He was just being himself. He wasn't trying to, I'm doing it for attention. He was just doing it because it felt fun. It's reminding me of like one of those like comedic characters, a lot of maybe the characters Jim Carrey plays, where it's kind of outlandish and like funny and silly, but you sort of adore him or you find him endearing at the same time, even though he's in his own world. And this kind of takes me to the Truman Show as well, even though I'm not really getting a reference to that character in that story, but it's just about this idea of you being in your own world that the universe is saying is needed in this world. In this world, we need more people who can bring that energy, because most people are assimilating. Most people on Earth are assimilating. And there are a lot of people who have that unique flair within them that needs to be activated by someone who's already comfortable. It can only be activated by someone who already has that experience of expressing that unique flair. Let's see what wants to come through with this green onyx here. Okay, I'm seeing the ambulance sign or the cross. But this is particularly taking me to healing. And there's something, some of you might be performers, I don't know. But there's something about your energy can be very healing to people. Even if you're not just sitting there and you're like, oh, it's going to be okay. There's something about being the opposite that the universe is encouraging you to do. It's like if you have like a weird sense of humor, you don't take life so seriously, or whatever that is needed. It's so healing for people. It's kind of taking me to Eckhart Tolle when he jokes about people taking pictures of their food and posting it on Facebook. Like, it's hilarious. The world we live in, it's so funny. It's so funny. But because he's connected to his humor, he's also able to get the message across to people and help them understand. Don't take it so seriously, let it go. But it also helps you to see why some of the things that we do are dysfunctional, or why they're not helping us, perhaps. Some of the habits that we have as humans. It's like, oh, that's kind of silly. It's like, why do we have those tendencies? So I think you're helping to reveal the hypocrisy in this world to people in a way that is lighthearted or easy for them to take in or absorb or receive. So they're not feeling so off-putting, like, whoa, this is jarring, because it's coming off as quite, your energy is coming off as quite easygoing. We're not pressuring people to change. It's just, this is the option that's available to them. Okay. Green onyx. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of humor. Because this looks like an eye to me, and it just looks weird. But it's just taking me to this energy of humor, and not just like, how weird would it be just to see a floating eyeball in midair? It'd be maybe a little creepy, but then it'd also be kind of funny, like that's weird. I'm even hearing laughter. So this green onyx is interesting. Sometimes it can give me like very strong, transcendent visuals where I'm just like high in life. But what I'm seeing the energy it often gives off is very peaceful, very easygoing. Find the new land. It is actually taking me to National Geographic as well. Travel. So the role you're stepping into might ask that you travel, either in your mind, like astral travel, or travel, literally travel. It might be a combination of both. Because I'm seeing someone, I'm getting this energy of like see the world and experience different things so that you can see how we actually have so much more in common. Whenever I'm watching those National Geographic films or movies or TV shows or episodes, there's always this like profoundness of honoring and appreciating Mother Nature and animals and creatures and seeing how mystical and magical the universe is. So I'm hearing you're being asked, you're being invited to go on this journey where you really open up your mind and all of these either illusions start to fall away, but most certainly the limitations or the human limitations or the human, when we're so fixed on negative energies, fall away because you're so opened, your heart is entered into this open space where you feel so inspired by this world. I know a lot of people sometimes they want to escape from this world, but you're being invited to be here in this world and to find the wonder in having a human body and having Mother Nature around and its profound wonders that never end. Let's go ahead and pull cards and see what role the universe is calling you into, group number 2. Oh, okay. We got here Knight of Swords. There's a lot going on here. I don't know if we should take all this. I'm just going to show you really quick. We have the Page of Cups, Six of Swords, Devil card, Ace of Wands, Knight of Cups, Sun card, Ace of Pentacles. All right, let's pull another card here. King of Wands. Leader. Yeah, that's definitely a role. So I was talking about Jim Carrey and him in his comedy. To me, Jim Carrey in his movies, I mean, he's a King of Wands. He actually is a King of Wands because when I've meditated on the King of Wands before, they're the comedians, as are the Queen of Wands. They're a personality for days. So the universe is promoting you into you being more of yourself, like with a microphone, loud and clear, just allowing that energy to flow through. Here. King of Wands is creative, a leader, someone who leads themselves, someone who initiates. They're good at starting, they're good at demonstrating, they're good at showing other people how to come alive and to be optimistic and to believe in themselves. Yeah, that's why they make great leaders, because they're showmen. They're showmen who show out. They are in front of you, demonstrating to you how to tune into your heart source. They're heart on fire. Wands energy is heart on fire. It's about following your passion here. So you are being called to follow, being promoted to follow your passion without any hesitation. Here, let's look into the Knight of Swords and see why that's showing up here. I feel like I'm hearing microphone or voice piece or communication, so I think that's important for a lot of you, is to speak that truth, share that knowledge, share that information with other people. The Knights are always about missions. They're always about, I'm going to do this. I'm going to share this with other people. Other people need to hear this. I need to get this done. So there might be something where you feel like I need to help people get this access to this kind of information. Let's see. Clarify for the Knight of Swords. We got the Four of Swords. Yeah. Peace be still. So they're just letting you know. Knight of Swords, often when I pull it, lately in these readings particularly, it often means that sometimes your mind is going really fast and quickly. And it's trying to latch onto something because it's trying to make sense of reality. I think some of you are in a tricky place with reality, where you're trying to make sense of everything and you're trying to put all the pieces together, but they don't want you to rely on the physical reality to determine how things are going to align. Rely on your heart, rely on your soul, rely on your spirit to guide you with the King of Wands, not your expectation of how you think things are supposed to go, because a lot of times our expectations come from our past understanding of how we've experienced reality before. So whenever we're experiencing fear, we're just projecting either something that we've experienced in the past before, or we're projecting an unknown fear that has not manifested. And the universe wants you to know, nothing to worry about. All right, let's pull some more cards. Ooh, fire again. We got Bridget, inner strength. Move back to wholeness. Recognize that you have the power. I got the power. Yeah. So you got the power. You have the power to accept what's going on in your life. You have the power to trust what you are being shown. You have the power to trust that things are going to work out. You have the power. So the universe is calling for you to tune into your inner strength here. And to me, with that red hair and the fire and the King of Wands, I'm like, that's a standout energy here. You know, these are complementary colors with the red, orange hair and the green. It's like you're going to stand out being you, being unique, tuning into your inner strength here. So definitely lean into wholeness to guide you, to show you that however things are unfolding in your life, you have the power. You have the power of choice. All right. There's like a lot of different cards I feel like want to come out for you guys. Okay, we have your Child Eternal, we have Monk and Nun, Selfless Devotion, and Single-Minded Dedication to Spirit, Shadow Attribute, Negative Judgment of the Physical World, Excess Piety, or Piety. We have here Child Eternal, Determination to remain young in body, mind, and spirit, Ability to see things with fresh eyes. Shadow Attributes, inability to grow up and be responsible, extreme dependency on others for physical security. Right, this green onyx always takes me to that eternal soul energy. Right, and I was talking about National Geographic, that invitation to really see how life can be inspiring and inspire you. You guys are on a very wholesome pathway of purification where you're dedicating your time and your energy to spirit and to being a extension or a messenger for spirit as well. Strong. So it's about continuing that devotion, believing in that devotion and trusting it. Let's see what else wants to come through here with this Gateway of Light activation. Oh, there we go. Oracle deck. Oh, here. Order the Malekith, a deck embraced by light. Mission uncovered. Don't give up. So I pulled this card when I talked about the energetic shifts that people are going through in their life. Here, you are being embraced by light. You've learned your mission here, which is to be yourself and to not give up. Don't give up. Yeah, it's not easy. That's why a lot of people don't get there. It is challenging for people to be themselves, to be authentic, and to even know what that is. So, congratulations, you guys are en route to continuously experience and explore, to go on this journey. You've uncovered your mission, which is your purpose, which is phenomenal. That's like a huge part of the bargain, or that's a huge part of the challenge of being here on Earth, is just learning how to be yourself, but yes, know that, to discover that. All right, we have your family wishes come true, the well. So the well always takes me to nourishment. Mother Earth always provides. Family wishes come true. I always think this card is interesting because it's like family wishes. But you know what's so funny? Everyone's family, if they have a caring parent in their life, their family has the same wish for every child. Their wish for their child is for the child to be generally happy, to be with someone, have a partner, and to have a fulfilling career or job that they do. Every parent. That's why they're always putting so much pressure on you, because they're just so worried. They're just like, oh my gosh, I really want you to succeed in life. And sometimes they go about it in a way that's not the healthiest. But every loving parent generally has the same wish for their child. For them to have a beautiful life, basically, and be taken care of. And guess what? That's exactly what's happening in your life. Group number 2. Family wishes come true. The universe is providing. Just like the well, when you go in for nourishment, you go in for that water, it's always going to be available. You're always going to have that source of water available to go to. So you have a well of blessings that are coming to you and towards you. We have here not unsuccessful plans. That's definitely taking me to the Knight of Swords and the Four of Swords here. You know, perhaps you had some plans. You're like, okay, I'm going to try to do this. And then it just didn't work out. Tell me about it. That has been the challenge of this past year, and the shifts and transformations that have been taking place is the continuous list of unsuccessful plans, because you're on the divine plan, group number 2. That's why your plans aren't working. It's not about your plans anymore. It's about the divine's plan here. Selfless devotion to spirit. So whatever has not been unsuccessful, that has felt like a knot in your life, just know that it's the divine's job to untangle this. It's not yours. Do not make it your job to untangle the knots in your life. Unless it's your hair. Make sure you brush that out. But do not make it your job, because it's not your job. It's not. You are the one with the inner strength. Did they say outer strength? Outer strength would be you trying to overpower the situation. You don't need to overpower the situation. It's just going to detangle itself like a really good conditioner. It's going to take that knot right out. Okay. Let's see. I feel like I should name this reading something else, because I don't know. We'll see. What else would you like to tell them, spirits? Beehive, 8 Taurus. Diligent, persistent, stamina. Application, tireless, mindful, hard work, devoted, fruitful, busy, conscientious, energetic. Harvest, endurance, effort, patient, concentration. Keep at it. Yeah, keep building that inner strength, those inner conscious muscles. You're building the stamina. The universe is most certainly testing a lot of us and challenging us to build that stamina, and we're in that continuous space of building it here. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some clarifiers for this beehive in relation to the role that the universe is promoting you into. Let's go ahead and see. We have here 7 of Pentacles, and we have here 9 of Wands. Okay. So the role that the universe is calling into you asks for you to have the stamina, the work ethic to withstand, because this is about leveling up your consciousness. If you watch the 7 levels of consciousness video, I talk about the 7 levels of consciousness that I channeled. There are other people who have their own idea of levels of consciousness. I just channeled this information. And from level 5 through 7, so 5 is when we are tuning into receiving, and we're becoming an antenna, right? So like this monk and nun, we're kind of becoming the antenna. We're learning how to receive those messages and the signs from the universe. Level 6, level of consciousness, is where we tune into the knowledge. This is where you become Messiah's pupil. The Messiah's pupil. This is where you become a student of life, and you learn to open up your curiosity and understand that curiosity is endless and never ends. There's so much unknown to the universe. What a lot of people get stuck in is they get stuck in this rigid idea or concept of, I know this, but we don't know anything. It's not because, sometimes people, I think they say that and they don't know what that means. I know nothing. I'm like, we really don't know anything, because it keeps going. There's an extension, there's a ... to every sentence of what we think we know. It continues. And then the 7th level of consciousness is Messiah. So this is where you become a servant of God. Level 6 is where you were a child of God, right? With a child eternal. And level 7 is where you become a servant of God, monk and nun. So as far as the role the universe is promoting you into, they're promoting you into becoming and embracing the Messiah, the servant of God. This is where you devote your life to spirit. This is huge. Sometimes I look at my channel, I'm like, okay, these are the messages that want to come through. All right, let's do this, because sometimes I do wonder, I'm like, will they be receptive to this? But this is what Spirit is wanting me to communicate, because you guys, most of you guys who watch this channel, you're being called to level up into that 7th level of consciousness and completely surrender your life here. So the role you're being asked to, whatever it is you're being called to do, you're going to be a dilettante, okay? You're not going to know exactly what this is going to look like, but you've gotten some ideas. You've gotten some inspirations. Perhaps you've done some writing. You've created some things behind the scene where you're like, okay, someday I can put this in a complete format of sharing this with people or sharing this experience with other people. But I'm also telling you, you don't need to worry about any of that. You don't need to think about it, because it's just going to happen. So what's more important is that you work on your consciousness and your conscious muscles here. With this Knight of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles, it's like, yes, we're waiting on, maybe you feel like you're waiting on the physical, but the thing is, you're not waiting on anything to manifest. What you're doing is you're stretching your consciousness to create and tune into that happiness and that well of joy from within you. Here, I want to put a huge emphasis on taking away your attention from relying too much on your physical representation to appease you to feel good. So instead of relying on your physical experience to feel like this is the validation, I'm telling you right now, don't go searching for any validation from outside of yourself. Do not do it. It will create lots of frustration with this Knight of Wands. Lots of frustration for you. So at this point, you guys have gotten an opportunity to really build those muscles and to stretch into those higher levels of consciousness. Whatever you've done up until now that has helped you to tap into and tune into that 7th level of consciousness, that God consciousness, that's the consciousness they're asking you to stay in. So whatever it is you're doing in your day-to-day with the beehive here, routine, persistently, in your routine, in your day-to-day life, that's helping you to sustain that 7th level of consciousness, that's what you want to continue to do. Anything that takes you into a space of worry or fear or frustration, that's what you want to move away from, because that's bringing you down into lower levels of consciousness here. So conscious building, conscious expansion, green onyx, definitely, for sure, that's what it's about. Being confident about your conscious expansion and trusting and relying on that, letting go of the physical, of whatever is going on in your world, and detaching from it. Detaching it from your physical circumstance in a very healthy way. Here. So I was actually, earlier I said The Truman Show. And The Truman Show was about him, Jim Carrey's character, living a false life, right? It wasn't real. It was an illusion. That's how they want you to look at your life. Because in that show, funny enough that I channeled that, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to use that as a reference, but in that show, in that movie, he woke up. He had an awakening, and he started to look at everything like it was weird, and he started to observe people and look at like it was weird, and reality like it was weird. That's what they're calling you to do, is challenge your reality, challenge it, because you'll start to see the glitches in reality. You'll start to see why people do what they do. Everyone's running on a computer system, a simulation system. And when you start to pay attention to the system, you start to predict people. You can predict people. This is why they have statistics and research. Those people are predictable because they're running on a simulation and a pattern because they're not conscious. But when you break the pattern and you become conscious, you don't run on that pattern anymore. Because this world operates by the matrix simulation. Consciousness, a higher level, 7 level of consciousness doesn't. It doesn't. You do things that don't make sense to people. You say things that don't make sense to people. You know how he was testing the reality and he would say things to challenge people? I think that's where you are right now, group number 2. You're in that space of challenging, testing, observing, and taking in reality to really note the glitches. And that's what I think they want you to pay the most attention to, is those glitches, and take note of what's not lining up here. What patterns are people running on? What are my own patterns that I've ran on that I no longer have to run on? That's what they're inviting you to. All right, let's go ahead and close out your reading here. We got here Pluto, 8th house, in Cancer. Whoa. Okay, so Pluto in the 8th house. Pluto is in his own house. Pluto is about power, right? And transformation. It's also about our inner power as well. And if you're Cancer, we got 8 here, reference. This is also connected to prosperity as well. And we have your Cancer, emotions. Okay, so you guys are going through an intuitive, a spiritual up-leveling. I'm hearing outer body experience. That's what I'm hearing. Like, I don't feel in my body. I'm feeling like an alien. I feel like an alien. I'm feeling weird. I'm feeling very different. Yes. That does take me to the Truman Show. So it's like a paradox that we live in. The irony is that when you wake up, you start to see that you're very different from everyone else, but that's what we are. So right now you're in this space of learning what you really are, what you actually are, and getting comfortable in this new skin. What is this new skin now? This version of the true you that is here to exist. What is that? Getting comfortable with your new skin. Let's go ahead and pull a couple of clarifiers for this, and then we'll end this reading. Yeah, as strong spiritual gifts, also intuition as well. We have here the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, change, transformation. So, I don't know a lot about the wheel. I don't. I have a card in this deck, oh look, the Phoenix, that talks about the wheel of karma, right? So this is where you experience misfortune or unfortunate situations, and then your life does a 180 and it turns to fortune. So I just want to let you know, whatever you're experiencing in life, that's what you're going through. Misfortune or unfortunate situations, or a series of unfortunate events that turn into a series of fortunate events. But it takes us going through this series of unfortunate events for us to tune into the fortunate events. Spiritually, I'm hearing, why am I being so affected by this? Why you're being affected like this is because, just imagine the different layers of air, right? Like, think about liquid, solid, gas. You're gas, which means that that's the level of consciousness that you're in, right? The 7th level of consciousness. It levitates and it floats right to the top. You keep floating to the top. You can't sit in dense energy. You know, that lower level of consciousness, that dense, unhealed energy, because you're healing. When you heal, you move on up. You levitate. That's why it's happening to you. You're built this way. You're hardwired this way. You've been doing the work. Could be an old soul. You could be past lives if you're doing the work as well, with the 8th house connected to past lives as well. This is deep soul level work. What is going on this planet? A huge wake up, a huge shake up. Look, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to journal and just like ask the question, who am I? Or meditate on that, because we all have we're all coming from different spaces energetically. We're all an eternal soul, but we're all coming from different spaces where, some of us are new souls on mission. Some of us are old souls who've been at this for a long time, and we're being called into this huge dramatic shift right now in time. And we're jumping timelines, and it's changing Earth. Officially, Earth is changing too. It has its own consciousness, but it's changing the complete timeline. Where previously we were moving towards destruction, now we're off course of destruction and we're moving towards reconstruction instead. So Earth is going through a recall, reconstruction. Think about renovation is what I'm hearing in my head. You're going through a renovation as well with it, because you're gas. Your 7th level of consciousness, 6th level of consciousness, or 5th level of consciousness, and it helps you to levitate with this shifts and changes. So it can't be helped. The timing is unknown, unpredictable, but we're kind of tuning into those energies, and these readings, I hope, are helping to give you clarity on what it is that you feel called to do and how things are shifting. Let's look at this. We have here self. I love myself deeply and unconditionally. That's also taking me to the Cancer of feeling at home or attuned within oneself here with that Cancer, feeling at home or safe or secure. I love myself deeply and unconditionally. So the universe is opening your heart. It's expanding your heart capacity to feel more love for yourself, to feel true, authentic love for yourself and for others as well. Loving yourself deeply and unconditionally. And the only way that we actually learn unconditional love is we have to be put through conditional love or conditional situations that make us turn towards unconditional love. Think about it. It's usually those frustrating memories you've experienced where you experience conditional love that turns you away from it, because you're like, this doesn't feel good. You're noting with this Pluto in Cancer in the 8th house what does not feel good for you anymore. What has been conditional, right? That's also the glitch in reality as well. The conditions of life. And the only way you're going to free yourself is you got to free yourself of all the conditions, the expectations of how you think you're supposed to think or be, or how you thought you were supposed to be. You got to remove them. That's the only way to liberate yourself. And you're doing that. That's going to be the end of your reading here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. A little bit of ranting going on. Like, subscribe to support. Let me know if this resonated. Thank you guys. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. If you chose this lovely Chrysocolla, this is going to be the reading for you. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to go ahead and pull some energies first and see what wants to come through. Flawless. Okay, I felt like I was seeing a beet. It also looked like a heart. And it also looked like a diamond. Beets. I think beets are good for you. It's a root vegetable, right? So roots, rooted, feeling rooted. And then there's a reference to the heart, feeling your heart, and then the diamond, flawless. So the universe is promoting you into a very high position because it wants you to be a diamond. It wants you to feel like Beyonce and flawless. Group number 3. So I know we always say this, like, oh, I have lots of flaws, but our deeper true essence is that we aren't flawed at all. Our flawed perception is just a perception. Flaws only exist in this reality. Beyond this reality, they don't exist. We're not flawed. It's the person or the personality, the thought process, the identity that is flawed. Because that's the way it sees things. It sees things through right and wrong. And the universe is calling you to see past right and wrong, black and white. It's all gray, actually. And once you know that you're swimming in a sea of gray, all of these opinions that people have about politics and society, you realize that most of it's just people acting on their ego to say, this is right, this is wrong. Because they're trying to find it, right? They're just trying to find the truth. They're digging. So I give people credit for that because they're trying to dig for the truth. They're trying to find the truth. But then you keep digging and digging and you find that it's all relevant. Every person's perspective is like, or irrelevant. It's all irrelevant, maybe. That's the right way to see it. It's all irrelevant. And you're like, oh, why do we care so much about this stuff? Why are we so worried about this and that? And Yeah, it's just the way that our minds work. So I think you're finding that I'm hearing, relevancy. So relevancy is taking me to celebrity. Like, oh, this person's relevant because, I don't know, society likes them right now. But I think there's something, I'm hearing irreverent and irrelevant. There's something about you understanding that so many of the things that people do in society is like irrelevant to you. It's irrelevant in general, but you can only live your life experience, and you're starting to see that things are really irrelevant to you. Maybe you had this idea of like, oh, I'm gonna have a beautiful home and like a big like family and kids, and you had all these expectations of what a great life looked like, and now you're like, this is sort of irrelevant. Me putting this on a pedestal and making it important is irrelevant. I'm starting to realize I'm the most important part of that. All of it gets to happen by me being here and enjoying being here and enjoying life. All of those things and experiences get to be experienced with me and along me, alongside alongside my journey. All of those things get to be experienced because I'm here participating in it. So it's like the irreverence part is also taking me to, people like see certain things as reverent. Like I'm talking about like money, status. People like worship money, they worship status. And when we go in the opposite direction, it almost feels disrespectful to society. Like, whoa, that's so disrespectful. You don't care about money, or like that's, to some people, it bothers the people who it's important to that you don't care about it. Maybe it inspires them sometimes, but it might bother them too, rub them the wrong way. So there's some of that rebellious energy that's coming through quite strong for you guys. Group number 3, let's go ahead and see what the Chrysocolla. Yeah, the diamond is about spiritual strength as well, and that's about the universe putting you through pressure to reveal your brightest, purest qualities. You're going through a beautiful, powerful purification process where all of that bright, sparkling light gets to come out of you through the pressures that perhaps Saturn is putting on you. Saturn is in Aquarius. I follow Vedic astrology. And when Saturn is in its own sign, I gotta tell you, it's like revenge on you. Like the universe is clearing and it is getting your karma. But so long as you think of it as karma, it does bother us. But karma is also a reward. Like it's a paradox. It's like you face it, great things come out of it. But if you just understand that this is just life living itself and experiencing itself, then you don't have all of this resentment towards it either. Okay. Chrysocolla, what do you want to say? Okay. I saw a door and I saw a window. Door or window, either one. But it was giving me this energy of like hope. You know, if you've ever seen a picture of a really pretty window and you're just like, oh, that's such a nice fresh air. Yeah, I'm getting this window of opportunity, or doors opening up to you and it's letting in some fresh air, or you're about to walk outside into some fresh air. So that's something they're letting you know. Maybe you've been in a stuffy house all day, stuffy room all day, but the universe is going to open that door up, and at some point you're going to be let out. This is also taking me to the scene in V for Vendetta, when Evie is released from the prison and she gets to go outside. I'm sure, when someone is literally put in a prison cell and they just see those four walls or those walls, same walls every day, it's tiresome. But when you get to experience that fresh air, you feel so rejuvenated, like, oh my God, I feel liberated. Like you can feel your whole body responding to that newfound freedom. So you're entering into your newfound freedom. Freedom is your promotion. Group number 3. So I'm seeing something connected to a person's head. And to me, it's taking me to I'm getting this message that the spirit or the universe has been filling you up with new information. You've been creating new inner neural circuits and pathways and connections inside of yourself that's helping you to feel liberated. And before, you were operating in this really dense energy here, but for some, I'm also hearing that it's in this dark space that they're able to teach you. They can't teach you in the free space or outside in the free air or the open air. They can only teach you when you're depressed or in a prison cell. That's what I'm hearing. Because I'm seeing someone like in this like dark, dense energy, and they're looking really depressed. But this is where the knowledge comes and the wisdom transmission happens, is in our depression. So yeah, we might question sometimes like, oh my gosh, why am I depressed? How dare I be depressed? But even I was frustrated because I've had depressing eras in my life and I did not want to go back there. I'm like, I don't want to go back into that depressing era again. I've already experienced it many times before. I don't want to keep going. I was a moody kid, unhappy, just like moody, unhappy kid. I didn't want to go back into that energy. And this year really challenged that. But they're right. Like, that's actually when I learned the most wisdom and the knowledge was in my darker moments in life where I was just down because I was looking for the light. I was hungry for it. And it's that hunger that opens something out, it activates something, it unlocks something in us when we are in those low moments. And I think people have a hard time. They're like, oh, you're depressed. I don't look at it the same way. After this past year, I don't look at depression the same way. At first, I'm like, oh, you just need to get out of that. You need to move that energy. But I realize it's a rite of passage. It's a rite of passage we have to go through to free ourselves. And so whoever is, going through any kind of depression now, I'm like, that's an honorable pathway to go through that, because that means some part of you is has the opportunity to unlock profound knowledge if you come out of it. If you come out of it, you're going to be able to unlock some powerful things. So that's what I'm seeing here. Yeah, I just keep seeing shadow energy. I'm seeing an ocean. I'm seeing someone looking at all of this dark, shadowy energy under the ocean. Some people have said, like, we don't have space or something like that. Like, space or ether is actually volume. It has a volume to it, or it is something. That's what I'm seeing. It's like the shadow actually has a lot of relevancy, or it has a lot of strength or power. There's treasure in the darkness. So we have to go into those hidden depths within us to uncover the treasure. Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some cards and see the role the universe is promoting you to, group number 3. We have here Ace of Wands. You guys always be getting the Ace of Wands, group number 3. What is it? What's your secret? Yeah, that's that open door, that fresh air, right? Two of Pentacles. You may have been experiencing a challenging situation around your pentacles, finances, security. Mother Earth is going through a huge rehaul right now and transformation and purging. And she's taken a lot of us with her, because we are the old souls. We are the ones who are doing that inner work that are being brought into this experience. It's affecting other people, not as much, but it is affecting them too. They're just not as aware of it. The thing is, the more conscious you are, the more consciousness affects you and more energy. And Mother Earth's consciousness is evolving, and those who are ready here to evolve with Mother Earth, our consciousness has to evolve in order for us to thrive. So this, to me, screams thrive. Ace of Wands. Window of opportunity, right? Here's the opportunity. You may have been in a tricky place where you feel like you've been trying to balance your pentacles, the situation out, and things have just felt so uneven, and it's just a constant transformation and shifts taking place. But it's all been for a window of opportunity to be offered to you. Here, a new beginning, new life, new lease on life is what I'm hearing. We got here 1 and 2. So the steps, step 1 and 2 is coming into your life. As far as your new beginning goes, steps 1 and 2 are coming. Yeah. And with the 2 of Pentacles, there's a huge emphasis around give and receive in balance, or giving and receiving as well. That exchange, that dialogue that you're creating with the universe. And now you're going to get your house on the hills, your dream house, castle on the hills. Yeah. Okay, so we have here Mary Magdalene, Teacher Awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anything stop you. So the role, you guys, I feel like, are the only one who actually got a role. I was pulling cards for the other groups and they kept telling me about other things. It's fine. You guys are being promoted into the role of a teacher, of a guide, of a mentor, of a coach here for other people. You've been given access to that knowledge here. That shadow integration that you've been going through. And now you're ready to step into a new beginning where you get to share your insights and your knowledge with other people. Yeah, you feel like this is so important to share this. So you have an inner call in you that is saying, nothing's going to stop me. Nothing and nobody can stop me from spreading the word, the truth. Here. Powerful. So Mary Magdalene is also emphasizing or putting an emphasis on divine feminine energy as well. And I feel like this is why religion is incomplete, because religion accesses, it acknowledges sort of the masculine, divine masculine energies, but it doesn't acknowledge fully the divine feminine energy. Therefore, it's incomplete. Divine feminine energy, without us accessing this truth, the divine femininity, that's the hidden aspect of us. And that is where the shadow integration happens and the transformation and the awakening happens. Without us tuning into that divine feminine energy, our awakening cannot be complete, which is why religion offers a blueprint for people to connect to spirituality, but it can't necessarily lead people to an awakening because of divine femininity. And the reason why divine femininity doesn't particularly work in religion is because it breaks free of all structures. And religion tries to create a structure for how to connect with God. There is none. It's intuitive. It's us. We are the connection. Our existence is the connection. And religion creates a reliance on us to think that we can only connect to God through a priest, a pastor, a building, a book, a prayer. We're walking it. We're walking in it. We are it. And that's why divine femininity is powerful. It lets you know that where the real power lies. All right, let's go ahead and pull cards. Not where the false illusion of where people think power is. Healer. A healer knows how to heal because they've healed. A healer knows how to heal because they've healed. We have here passion to serve. By repairing the body, mind, and spirit, ability to help transform pain into healing. Shadow attributes, taking advantage of those who need help, failing to care for oneself. So we cannot heal people unless we heal ourselves, unless we acknowledge that our own healing that needs to happen here. So you're being promoted into someone who is that divine feminine healer, that nourishment that people are looking for. You can offer that because you had to go through your own storms, your own shadow experiences that have prepared you to take this on here, to offer people this love and this light so that you can activate their healing. I don't believe we can heal people. Some people might have a different opinion about that, but what I think we do is we activate healing in people. And when a healer is entrusted to help someone physically heal, perhaps, it's because that person extended that trust to them. That's a huge part of us being able to heal, is that exchange of energy and that exchange of love and trust here. So you're ready to tune into these powerful healing abilities that are meant to be shared with the world, with others. And group number 3, you should be proud of this work. You should, I don't know, acknowledge it for sure. This is the hardest. It's the hardest work for us to do. But when we do it, we feel so empowered and we want to offer it to other people too. Look at that. Healing. Star being healing codes. Important information, wounds are healed, recharging. So you've been getting some important information. You've been getting the healing codes. So I actually do believe our purpose here is to heal. And, you know, everyone has different opinions about that because maybe they're resistant to this idea of healing because it makes us feel like we're imperfect and we have to keep working on ourselves. But healing to me, if you watched the Art of Healing video, translates into so many things. It's of the wide, it has an extended definition. And part of healing is the paradox. It's about tuning into that paradox of realizing, oh, I want to heal, and then I'm whole. What am I healing then? I'm healing my distorted image or distorted perception of thinking I'm not healed. It's such a paradox, right? Star being healing codes, important information, wounds are healed. You've purified yourself. You have done that heavy lifting work. And perhaps you're in a space where you've been recharging here. And at some point in time, the universe is going to call you out to share that light with others. It's probably already calling you to it. So, you know, you can approach it however you feel like is important to you. There's nothing that needs to be forced. You know, do what feels natural to you. You want to make YouTube videos? Do you want to write a book? Just do what feels natural. Do what feels natural. Do what feels like I don't know, maybe you feel this just natural sense of urgency, but there's no pressure. You know, making these videos for me, I'm like, what's my next idea? You know, there's just no pressure. It's fun. And the pressure, we feel pressured by life. We feel pressured, I think, to heal. And there's lots of pressures that shows up in life in order for us to turn into that diamond and tune into our spiritual strength. But the universe isn't pressuring us to do things that we don't want to do. It wants us to pressure us to be more authentic here. Okay. Oh, we got 3 cards. Could be your angel. Oh, another one. Nest, parrot, and success. Wow. Lots of cards coming out for you guys. All right, so with that 2 of Pentacles, perhaps again with that Mother Nature, the nest energy, an emotional, secure, loving family is important to you. So you've been working perhaps on healing your root chakra energy and tuning into actual security, spiritual security within you, healing your root chakra so that you can feel secure no matter the conditions. No matter the conditions. The universe has only been trying to trust you to know that you're taken care of. And help you to know that you are taken care of here. So when we can really tune into that security from within ourselves, it does manifest. It does mirror out into this external reality. We have here parrot. Someone will gossip about all of your secrets. These cards are so funny, but the parrot is often a representation of the voice in your head that's saying all of the things against yourself. It's all of your limiting beliefs that are negating the truth of your abundant existence here. So perhaps you've had, right, that depression, right? That pressure you've been feeling from your external reality has been frustrating you, and you've been hearing that voice in your head saying, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this. This is making me miserable. I'm so unhappy. I'm so depressed. And it's because of going through that you've learned how to discern the voice. And so you've been practicing on learning how to discern that voice so that you can tune into the truth here with that parrot. You realize it's just a voice in your head, and it's a subconscious, fearful voice, a limiting belief voice in you that just speaks. But what's more important is if you can discern that voice, it doesn't control you anymore. It's just gossip. You know, people gossip about celebrities all the time, and you're like, what's real, what's not real? And quite frankly, all the negative things are not real. I mean, for us. As far as what people are doing in their lives, gossip it has a toxicity attached to it because it makes you think ill of other people. Right? So sometimes we're just not crazy about that. We don't want to think ill of other people, most certainly not of ourselves. But you're learning you don't have to think ill of yourself because you are not you. If we want to go really deep, right? You're not you. You're not this body. You're not this mind thinking these thoughts. You're observing it. We have here angel. Spiritual guidance, protection from harm. You're protected. So I watched Douglas Gabriel's channel. I'd highly recommend him. He's into anthroposophy and Rudolf Steiner's work, and he's done his own research. He's been a priest before, so he's had some experience with the Catholic Church and breaking free of that because he saw that they were not spreading all of the truth. He actually learned about Sophia, the divine feminine energy of the Mother Sophia, through his own research, and he actually found books on it in the Catholic library that were hidden behind bars, interestingly enough, or some kind of doorway or something. It was hidden away. The way that we develop our protection is we tune into it, but there is actually a spiritual development that helps us to tune into our spiritual development. What this means is that when you really work on yourself and you do that deep soul integration, spiritual integration, shadow integration work, and you tune into your soul, you develop a code of armor. You build it actually through your spirit and your connection. So the closer you are in connection with source, the more protected you become. That's what I heard. Funny enough, I always felt protected. And a lot of people who, they've spent a long time feeling devoted to source or God, you might hear them say, I don't know what happened. Somehow I was protected. Somehow I've always been protected. Somehow things just always worked out for me. And quite frankly, that has always been my life. I've been the luckiest person in unlucky situations. I've always felt protected. And what some people will say is that we develop this in our past lifetimes too. You develop in your past lifetimes, or it's just developed here, where you don't have to work on developing it, as much in this lifetime. Some people are still developing it, and you wonder why certain things happen to people, but they don't happen to you. It's because you've been working at this for some time. Perhaps through your past lifetimes, you've been building this coat of armor. And that's why our connection to source, it's an illusion in this world. People think that their money is going to protect them, their nice houses are going to protect them, but it can all fall away and crumble if they're not developing that moral connection and devotion to the truth. And I feel like for you guys, you absolutely understand that. Then they're not as, I guess in some ways, they're not as protected from harm. But that's just soul work. If you're an old soul, you've had to go through those layers just like everyone else, where you've had to build that cult of protection. Spiritual guidance. So you have angels, you have guardian angels who are looking after you, who are helping you. You are not here by accident. Someone or I don't know, it's not even really a someone, but it's maybe someone's guides, right? But something is guiding you, and it's showing you the way with this candle. So we have here success guaranteed. Sign on the dotted line. Success guaranteed. Nothing to fret, because success is guaranteed here. I need not say much more about that. Okay, so let's go ahead and close out your reading here, group number 3. We've been talking a long time. Oh, the racehorse. Oh, that's interesting. I think that's interesting because the last few readings I did, I kept getting a reference to a dark horse, and I just heard that in a show randomly one time. I've never heard of a dark horse. Maybe I have, but not really. Like, I never knew what it meant until I looked it up a few days ago, or last week. But yeah, so we have a connection to the horse here. We have your blinders. So it says here victim mentality. It also says tunnel vision, concentration, hyperfocus as well, and clarity, or resisting clarity as well, with a 7 or 8 Libra. Okay. I'm seeing obstacles, and I feel like the universe has been putting obstacles in your way just for you to build your strength and to understand that you can get through these obstacles. They're just temporary illusions. So if you stay concentrated with this 8 Libra, you will find your way to feeling a lot more grounded and secure in your body. Some of these situations perhaps made you feel very ungrounded with the nest here. So by focusing your attention and your awareness, you've been able to see more clearly and see past the victim mentality with the gossip and the story you've been hearing in your head, not by fault of your own. This is just the way that you're programmed. Your mind is programmed toward victim mentality. So, of course, when you're put in harsh situations that pull you down, you're going to hear a lot of those victim stories in your head. But can you see through it? With the tunnel vision, can you see the light at the end of the tunnel? And if you can focus on the light at the tunnel, this is what makes you a dark horse, the one who wins and is guaranteed to succeed. Ooh. So we got here Jupiter, Aries, and then let's see if we can get another 5th house. Awesome. Okay, so we have your Jupiter, Aries in the 1st house. That's about you in your new beginning. I was saying lucky. I was talking about how I've always been lucky in unlucky situations, and Jupiter is taking me to luck. Not are you going to be just sort of lucky, group number 3. You're going to luckily win 1st place with that Aries energy in the 5th house. Fire. So I'm seeing the horse, and it's like behind, and then all of a sudden it just has this feels this strong push to like book it. And so the universe is going to give you a strong boost. It's going to give you a strong boost where you're just going to see it through. Okay, so stay strong. They are assisting you energetically. This is why, even if you're feeling depressing energies and whatnot, you're going to get past it. There's going to be a burst of light that's going to come through with this Jupiter, Aries in the 5th house that you're going to feel in your heart. And not only is some of the issues or problems you're experiencing currently going to be resolved, it's going to be kapoosh, like it didn't exist. Okay, I feel like I'm just saying stuff, so I'm not. Like, what am I saying? I don't know. That's what wanted to come out, I guess. All right, we have here personal affirmation. I follow strong intuitive impulses aligned with the universe. I follow strong intuitive impulses aligned with the universe. This is about being courageous and confident and brave. So I made that promise to myself. I wrote this affirmation. I made that promise to myself that I wanted to take courageous steps in my life. I didn't want to just do the appeasing, easy thing. I really wanted to do something that felt like, this is it. If we need to take big leaps of faith, then we're going to do that. But I'm not jumping into the unknown. I took a calculative risk because I asked my guides. I prayed about it. I meditated on it, my decisions before I made them. And I was like, I think I'm going to do this. This feels right. And I got supportive messages. So that gave me my confirmation, right? The confirmation bias to do it. So I didn't just jump into anything. I thought about it, I meditated, prayed about it, and then I made my choices and my decisions to move in a different direction because I wanted to see how powerful I was. I didn't want the universe to take away something from me, and then I was like, oh no, I don't want to lose it. No. I was like, I want to willingly do this, and that's what a initiation is. It requires your self-awareness to ignite. So if you step into it with that Jupiter Aries, with a fierceness and a fieriness of, I'm willing to do this, this is going to work out, the universe catches you. You're not just going to be caught, you're going to be caught in a cloud where you're like, I knew it was going to work out. I just knew it. Okay, I knew I was going to win. I just knew it. We have here love and relationships. I allow love to find me easily and effortlessly. So this is about love finding you. This is about you being magnetic, and I heard someone say this, they said happy people get married. Happy people get married, happy people, not all the time, but he was saying that some people are looking for relationships, right? But if you're just honestly being your happy, true self, you will attract that into your life while being intentional, right, with your actions as well. So they just want to confirm to you that love is coming into your life in regards to your relationships. This could be friendships, romantic partnerships, family as well, all of the above. But I love this idea of allowing love to find you. Because it's also shedding this illusion that we couldn't have it. Actually, the moment you decided you could have it, or you believed you were worthy of it, that wall fell down. And usually most of us don't feel worthy of love because there's conditions we've attached to it. We think someone will not love me unless I'm like this, or unless I'm like that. And what some people do is they get too involved in performing. So they say, well, okay, I have to be like this and this, and I need to be perfect, and I need to look like this, and I need to act like this in order for me to attract that perfect person into my life. But now they've done all of this work to attract someone into their life, and now they have to maintain that. And I don't know about you, but that just sounds like too much work. Who wants to do all that work to keep love in their life or to attract love in their life? Versus going in the other route where you're like, you know what? I'm just going to like me for me. I'm going to like who I am. I'm going to enjoy me, whatever this is, this personality, this experience. I'm going to accept my life for how it wants to unfold. And I'm going to trust that things always work out for me. And it will. And I'm like, that's a more effortless way to go about it. So the universe is saying, just be effortlessly you. And that is going to turn you into the most powerful magnet to attract everything and just in general success. All right, that's going to be the end of your reading here, group number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, subscribe to support, and let me know if this resonates. Thank you. Bye.